'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, just stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
It sure seems like America in 2016 is a politically divided place. The headlines and talking heads keep reminding us that we don't get along.
I'm against both of them.
No, you're Hillary.
But it turns out that some Americans keep their political enemies close. Really close.
Do you think climate change is real?
So climate change, I don't really... I mean,
scientifically proven.
So, like, if you try to take away guns from everybody, is that really going to stop people from killing each other with guns?
She's innovative. She was innovative.
It just seems shady. Like, what does she need to serve, and why is she like...
Is it illegal to seem shady?
It just seems shady.
All right.
My wife, Kim, she'll be voting for Hillary. She would have loved to vote for Bernie. And this year, I'll be voting for Donald Trump. I put way more faith in the free market and private enterprise than government because I know it works. Trump's, he's been super polarizing. It's partly because people are so sensitive to being offended. I mean, it's really tough to speak your mind, you know, and not offend someone.
When we were first dating and talking about politics, I don't think I realized how politically opposed we were. My husband's a conservative Republican, but he's still cool. And we're still in love, and it's great.
At Yale University, assistant professor of political science...
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned with another heater. It's election night. So you know I got to put my twist on it, my spin on it. Oh, tonight's topic is going to be very, very, very interesting. So you already know this is a conversation, so I'm going to need you to call in. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. I want to know your perspective, your honest perspective. I promise I won't judge you. I won't judge you. Believe me when I tell you I won't judge you. Tonight's topic, a house divided. A deeper look at couples who struggle with the concept of whether to vote or not to vote. Or people who are living in a bipartisan relationship. Some people are independent, some people are Democratic, but they still love each other. Some people are Republican. Some people are Democratic, but they love each other. Hey, and stay tuned, because one of my KBLA colleagues, Areva Martin, the great Areva Martin, will be checking in with us at 7:35 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to give us an update on all things election night. And she'll also be checking back in at around 8:30. So she's going to keep us up to date on the races and everything that's happening. But you already know, I have questions. And I need to know, how do you live with somebody, or how do you deal with somebody that has different political views than you? Can you share a love life without sharing a political identity? 1-800-920-1580. Get in here. I need to hear from you. True or false? In our increasingly divided nation, Americans are splitting along party lines in a number of ways, including marriage and family life. Yeesh. Would you break up with somebody if they, say, supported a political candidate that seemed grossly over their head? Right? Not even capable of holding the position? They just look like somebody that was positioned to have the spot, but not really positioned to deliver what you need. Maybe they were immoral. Maybe they had all types of... Okay, Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I was trying to paint a picture without saying it. Donald Trump. Somebody like Donald Trump. Do you think our ancestors would be offended or upset if you didn't participate in the voting process? A lot of people be like, your ancestors go get you. You better. But would they applaud you? I don't know. I want to know your thoughts. 1-800-920-1580. Somebody call me right now. True or false? Oof. This is going to hurt. In the core of relationships, you tell me if this is true or false, in the core of relationships, you got to practice some form of bipartisanship. It doesn't just have to be political. 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, the voice of reason is going to the phone lines. I need to hear your POV.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Vote Heidi Feldstein Soto for LA City Attorney. Heidi is running to stop corruption at City Hall, to protect neighborhoods from crime and illegal guns. And as the first woman ever elected LA City Attorney, Heidi will stand up for reproductive rights. That's why Heidi is the only candidate endorsed by the LA Democratic Party, Planned Parenthood, the LA Sentinel, and the LA Times. Vote Heidi Feldstein Soto for LA City Attorney. Paid for by Heidi Feldstein Soto for City Attorney 2022 General. Info available at ethics.lacity.org.
Power to the people. Have power represented here today. And I come to ask you to go all out to get every Negro in this county registered to vote. Just see what a power you can be. Then after getting people registered, that is another. And that is to go out to vote. Once more, we have the opportunity to send to the Congress of the United States competent, qualified, dedicated black men and women. Let us march on ballot. So somehow we will be able to develop that day. Men will have food and material necessities for their body, freedom and dignity for their spirit, education and culture for their mind.
Paid for by the African American Voter Registration, Education, and Participation Project.
It's probably just allergies. I'm probably good to fly. I probably don't have COVID.
Take the probably out of your plans. Test for COVID-19 if you've been exposed. When you're feeling sick, and before and after traveling and gathering. Learn more at covid19.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Haven't voted yet? Save time and avoid the election day lines by voting early. Visit plan.la in your neighborhood and stop by before Tuesday, November 8th.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA 108 FM.
Another summer. Sound of the funky drummer. Music hit your heart, cause I know you got soul. Listen if you're missing, y'all. Swinging while I'm singing. Hey! Giving what you're getting. Know what I know in. While the black man is sweating. In the rhythm I'm rolling. Gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the power that be. Fight the power.
My playlist is my co-host. Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason. I'm in here setting fires. Tonight's topic is crazy. Can most politicians be trusted after they get in office? Is this a point of contention for a politically minded couple? Could this cause them to break up? If, say, the husband is like, look, I don't believe in none of this. This is like church. I don't go to church with you because I know the pastor is a hustler. I'm not voting because I don't believe in the system. Well, how are you going to change things? How are you going to affect change if you don't participate? 1-800-920-1580. I want to know your thoughts. Can differing political views wreak havoc on a once happy relationship? Brother Tavis walked in here and gave me some insight on a political couple. One such couple that were at odds politically. James Carville and Mary Madeline. Now, Mary ran Daddy Bush's campaign. And James Carville just so happened to help our guy Clinton get in. You know, black people be like, that's our guy. Is he? Is he really? But he helped, Bill Clinton win. And they met each other on the campaign trail and fell in love. I think they have a book out called Love and War. Is it possible to date and or marry someone that has differing political views? What are your thoughts? 1-800-920-1580. Sean from Oakland, California just jumped in here. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, brother. So this one's right up my alley, but I have to say this. I love James Carville. Mary Madeline, I liked her, but it seemed like a game. You see, and I think the two of them, I know James Carville is very serious about how he works these campaigns, and he's very good at it. Remember the economy stupid? Yeah, that's James Carville, and he's very smart. And he also has his own democracy core. If you ever want to look at why he says what he says, he has data to back up a lot of the stuff. But when it comes to a couple like that, that's a little bit different than, say, a couple. One person is a Trump supporter or one person is a Biden supporter. Mm-hmm. Because when you get to that one, I think, my goodness, it can happen. And like I told Brother Andy, I said, I'm not sure. I don't have an answer to this. But if you can work it out as a couple, cool, But, maybe you're just saying, that doesn't really matter. But what I wanted to ask you, because you talk so much about the higher consciousness, at least in my opinion, that's what you talk about. And I mean this with all respect. I'm like, maybe they have something to connect to one another besides the political thing.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a consciousness level that they actually relate to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's with everyone. I mean, because when I'm out there, I have to tell you, I at my age now, I need to speak with someone that at least is like going to, challenge me or be smarter than me or, whatever the case, I don't need to, deal in, trifle stuff. I know that I'm being, a little arrogant there, but I have to tell you, maybe in some of these relationships, maybe we gravitate towards people that have closer relationship to our consciousness, even if we differentiate from the political views. I don't know what you think, but let me know. I don't know.
No, I think it's a great question because people are fanatics over politics just like they are over religion. So you see the religious fanatic, and then you also see the far left and you see the far right political fanatic.
Boom.
So, patriotism gets you whipped up just like a good sermon. So I totally see where you're coming from.
I hear you.
And some people, and sports. Sports has that same effect on people as well. So
absolutely.
I think if you can't reconcile these things in a relationship because you file political beliefs right under things that differ in relationships, our differences, how we view the world, how we interface with the world, how we participate in the world. Sometimes in relationships, we go about doing things in a very different way from one another. And if we cannot reconcile or find some type of common ground, then yes, that could lead to some serious discord. Sean, once again, you done knocked it out the park, brother. I appreciate it.
You knocked it out the park.
Hey, thank you, brother.
Thanks, brother.
All right, here we are. Tonight's the night, election night. Everybody, listen, I want to get back to it. Will your ancestors applaud, approve of, or be disappointed if you participate in a political system that seems to always keep you on the bottom, regardless of who you vote for? I just want to know. Somebody help me to understand, right? Just call in and give me some insight. Can democracy still deliver on America's promise? I know it's a tough question. America promised a lot of things, especially to black folk. Can participating in the democratic system bring about America's promise? Can it? Which is your allegiance stronger to? Your significant other or your political views? I want to know. 1-800-920-1580. Fred, San Fernando Valley in the building. Let's talk.
Hey, good evening. You said it was going to be a wild one. Okay, let's get wild.
It's wild as long as you don't curse, Fred.
I'm not going to curse, but first of all, you see what I said. The mockery, not democracy, the mockery.
Uh-oh, here we go. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
So let's go with Jeffersonian democracy versus Jacksonian democracy.
Okay.
When our founding fathers came up with this idea of the republic or democracy and so forth, it was for rich people who were landowners, who had money, property and money, slaves, cattle, all those things, commerce. Those is what they believed in. They set up what is called a federalist system, okay? Then came Jackson, Andrew Jackson, the war hero, the poor white boy who came up from nothing, who mom ran a brothel, okay? He became a war hero. Then later on, he came in on his popularity. He understood that the average white boy could not vote because he owned no property. So what he did was he took all the property from the Cherokee, Choctaw, and Natchez, shipped them off to Oklahoma, gave all them white boys some property so they could vote. Nowadays, we give the votes of people who are undeserving of vote. You understand what I'm saying?
Say more. Keep going.
They say, if you're being anti-American if you're requiring people to know how to read or to do tests and all that. But then again, how can you get somebody involved in something they don't understand? The word party means people, and the tick is what make people tick. How can I manipulate your thoughts and to go ahead and give me the power to run the country? Politics, inflation, oil prices. You understand what I'm saying? That's what make people tick. Jobs. That's what make people tick. So when you play politics, you are saying to the people, I'm trying to see what your interests are. I'm trying to see what make you tick. Now, as far as for poor people who live in apartments, who don't have no money, guess what? You screaming human rights. Why the police ain't on me? Why we ain't got no services? Why garbage is in there? Those are human rights issues. Then you screaming also opportunities. I want opportunities for education, medication, all that. That's what poor people want. Poor people want human rights and opportunities. Rich people want money and property.
Let me ask you this, Fred. Can the poor people change their condition by participating in the political process?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Talk to me about that.
When you get someone who represents you, now we only got one Maxine Waters in the whole country. We only got one. A sister who say, hey, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm with my constituents. Whether you like what I say or you don't like what I say, this is what people come and tell me to say. You understand? She's our mouthpiece. Now, I'm not saying she's writing some of the stuff come out of her mouth, but, the streets say what the streets say.
Hey, Fred, let me say this, man. You already know I appreciate you coming in here enlightening me. I'm not a political guy, but I love the discussion. You're always welcome to come in.
My mom was a politician.
Is that what you wanted? You wanted to.
My mom was a politician. Ask me, do I trust my mom? No, she's a politician.
You don't trust your mama?
No, because her name's Dorothy Benford. Google it, bro. She went Democrat, Republican, Independent, Communist, Social. Whoever paid her the money, that's who she's going to speak up
So you're
for.
telling me right now, most politicians, if not all, are bought and paid for?
Bought and paid for, baby boy.
So you should have started the conversation there instead of cutting me off when I was trying to get you off the phone, because that was the meat I was looking for. Talk to me about how they're bought and paid for.
I asked my mom back in 1986, I said, Mom, how you going to roll with Ronald Reagan? She said, look, son, when I was poor, I rolled Democrat. As soon as I got this money, I'm trying to protect my money. So I got to roll Republican. I want them tax incentives. Think about what Dave Chappelle said. He said, I'm going to kick back and see how this Republican works for me. I'm going to take these tax incentives. I'm going to take these tax cuts.
Wow. Hey,
you
brother.
can't get mad because people trying to protest their nest egg.
Hey, Fred, I appreciate the insight, but I got to push forward, sir. You like the old Superman. You need a running start to get your point going. It's all good. I appreciate it. You got a seat at the table. Call in anytime. The voice of reason is on fire already. Get to your phone lines if you agree or disagree with any of the thoughts that Fred just shared. Fred out of San Fernando Valley. All you got to do is call me. This is a non-judgmental space. I'm not a political person. What am I? I'm apolitical. Yes, I'm apolitical. Convince me. 1-800-920-1580. The voice of reason is on complete fire tonight. This is what I need you guys to do. I want you guys to call in and share. But when I stop you, you got to stop now. Don't talk over me. You're going to make me tell Andy to drop you now. I don't want to do that because I love my callers. But this brother just laid out something that I think is very important. He said most politicians are bought and paid for. He said his mother was a politician. And he said his mother changed her position once she was presented with money from the opposing side. Does that happen more times than not? Can we really seek fair and balanced results from a politically toxic system? I just want to know. 1-800-920-1580. What? Oh, yes. And I'm going to mention her one more time. My sister, my colleague, Ariva Martin, will be checking in with us live at 7:35 Pacific Standard Time. She's going to come with all the election news. She's going to tell us who's winning, who's losing. Let me tell you something right now. I just got to say this. If somebody like Herschel Walker could be winning, it just tell me something's off. Now, something wrong. How? Either the voters are stupid or the system is rigged. I don't know. Either the system is rigged or the voters. I just don't know. 1-800-920-1580. Call in. When I come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines because the phones are cracking.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the power that be. Fight the power. 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 We got to fight the power that be.
It's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard with an election update from the Black Information Network. Control of the U.S. Senate appears to be a pure toss-up. Republicans need to gain just one seat to win a majority, with Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Nevada at the center of the fight. In South Carolina, NBC calls Senator Tim Scott the projected winner in the race against Black Democratic challenger Crystal Matthews. In Florida, Republican incumbent Senator Marco Rubio is the projected winner, beating Black Democratic challenger Val Demings. Despite Demings' loss, she said this.
In the coming year, it will be tested. This is going to be the great challenge of our lives. But I am here tonight to tell you that, yes, even tonight, I still believe in America.
I'm Esther Dillard with an election update from the Black Information Network. Another update in just a few minutes.
Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double-stack junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. Includes choice of double-stack JBC or crispy chicken BLT with 4-piece nugs, small drink, and fries. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
As long as NFL owners have nobody to answer to, the league will continue to have an embarrassing shortage of black head coaches. Only 3 of the NFL's 32 teams have a black head coach, and one of them, Carolina Steve Wilkes, is working on an interim basis. The Indianapolis Colts hired Jeff Saturday, a TV analyst, to take over the head coaching duties after Frank Reich was fired on Monday. Saturday played 13 years for the Colts, but he's never coached in the NFL. The Colts have 7 black assistants on their staff, including defensive backs coach Ron Miles, who has 32. Even when you do the math, it does not add up to fair opportunities in the National Football League. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
If you're the victim of a car accident, call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review.
Call me your MVP. Drop it.
When you tune in to KBLA Talk 1580, we want you to know what you're downloading.
Now, you listen to me, and you listen to me closely.
In a recent African-American media issue survey conducted by the public opinion research and public policy consulting firm Eviteris, KBLA Talk 1580 was found to be the most trusted, credible, and reliable source on the airwaves for Black Los Angeles and beyond. Check it out. We take our role seriously as your trusted messenger. At KBLA Talk 1580, it's about truth, not ratings. And when you hear us say, when we come forward, we mean it. We mean it. Not to the back of the bus, not to back alleys, not back in the closet, and definitely not back to the good old days.
Might as well forget it. No way.
We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Our team is in it to win it, and we'll fight to get the maximum compensation you deserve. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP. Show them who we are.
KBLA Talk 1580 has not one, but two Black Panther Wakanda Forever weekend giveaways for KBLA Talk 1580 listeners. Friday, November 11th starts your weekend with a private screening of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, dinner for two, and an overnight stay at the W Hotel. Yes to the KBLA Wakanda Forever brunch and pool party. Win a KBLA Wakanda Forever weekend at the W Hotel Hollywood. It's simple to enter. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app and enter to win. Two winners will be announced Thursday, November 10th. Listen to KBLA Talk 1580 to find out if you will experience the KBLA Talk 1580 Wakanda Forever weekend. Starting Friday, November 11th at the W Hotel Hollywood. Black Panther Wakanda Forever private screening. Dinner for two. Overnight stay at the W Hotel Hollywood. Brunch and pool party on Saturday. Download the KBLA app and enter to win the KBLA Talk 1580 Black Panther Wakanda Forever weekend. Black Panther Wakanda Forever opens November 11th in theaters nationwide, but there's only one way to win the KBLA Talk 1580 Black Panther Wakanda Forever weekend. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app and enter to win. The KBLA Talk 1580 Black Panther Wakanda Forever weekend is sponsored by Top Shelf Getaways.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with the Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Worldwide, BDP are the freshest. Worldwide. 1, 2, 3. The crew is called BDP. And if you want to go to the tip top, stop the violence in hip hop.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Voice of Reason is on fire tonight. We have an amazing topic, and my playlist is right on point. KRS-One, Stop the Violence in Hip Hop. This is 88. Do you know this is happening in hip hop today? Stop the violence in hip hop. KRS-One is in step. BDP, Boogie Down Productions. As promised, ladies and gentlemen, we're having an amazing topic about the conflict, or the potential conflict, that differing political views could have on relationships in general and marriages, friendships, but particularly intimate relationships. So I asked the true or false question, true or false. In our increasingly divided nation, Americans are splitting along party lines in a number of ways, including marriage and family life. Can the uncertainty of the world and the importance of the ballot end a relationship? Could it make you part ways? Could you feel like your partner is socially irresponsible? As promised, I said my colleague, Ariva Martin. She's here now. We're going to bring her right in. Harvard-educated lawyer here on KBLA. This sister is married. She's ready to talk that talk. Please catch us up with what's going on in the world right now.
Well, first of all, Joe, let me answer your question. I could not be married to anyone. I don't even know if I could be your girlfriend if we had different party affiliations and different political views. I get so worked up about my politics. I was talking to a friend today, and it's a guy friend, and he did not try to flip a voter who I thought was voting for the wrong person in a very important race, and I had to get off the phone. And now I'm trying to figure out if I'm ever talk to the dude again. And that's just a friend.
What? Wait a minute, Reba. Now, we know that people who are on the right and people who are on the left actually have friends that are on the right and left. So you couldn't even have a friend on the other side?
I don't know where you got that information from, that people on the left and right are friends.
No, I didn't. I said some of them. I didn't say they. Come on now. I said some of them are friends, actual friends. As Tavis Smiley pointed out earlier in the show, James Carville, right, and his wife, Mary Madeline. Mary Madeline ran George Sr.'s, campaign. And James Carville helped Bill Clinton win the office. They got together and married. They got a book out called Love and War. They're on opposite sides. It's possible.
It's possible, Joe, but you also have to put in perspective when James and Mary got married, this country was not nearly as polarized as it is today.
Agreed.
We didn't have the toxicity of Twitter.
Agreed.
We didn't have the toxicity of social media the way we have today. So remember back if you were a normal Republican, a pre-Donald Trump Republican, we may have disagreed about fiscal policy. We may have disagreed about, approaches to foreign wars, but it was not as nasty.
So it was a kinder, gentler world then.
It was kinder, gentler. Republicans weren't as extreme. They weren't white nationalists, or if they were, let's be honest,
they were in the
closet. May have been, but it was in the closet. It was low key. It was self-contained. They were not emboldened. They weren't in your face. And so that's why I say today, I don't know if Mary and James, now they got, a lot of years under their belt, so thank God, they're not breaking up. I'm happy. I always celebrate lengthy marriages, but I don't know about those kinds of folks with, polar opposite political positions today getting married and staying married. Hats off. I'm sure it's happening. I'm sure there are some couples out there that are making that work. I would not be one of them. So, you just know who you are. I would not be one of them. So hats off to folks who figured out a way to make that work.
So give us the political updates. Where do we stand? Where are the races? Who's winning? Who's losing? Talk to us.
We're doing well. So we know historically whoever is in the White House, the party in the White House, is expected to lose control of the Congress. That's been the case except for maybe 2 times in the last 100 years. So it was expected that Democrats would lose seats in the House and possibly even in the U.S. Senate. The question was how many seats? Would it be 13 seats or would it be 60 plus the way Obama lost seats in 2010? And the good news so far tonight, although it's early and all races have not been called, but so far tonight it does not look like the Democrats are going to take the beating that was anticipated and predicted by the Republicans. It looks like we're holding our own in a lot of races, and we probably will lose control of the House, but it won't be by the 50-plus seats that have been predicted by a lot of the conservative pundits. So, you got to take your wins wherever you can find them. And some other great news tonight is with respect to Democrats and governorships. We just got the 3rd black person, and let's call it what it is, black man in the history of this country elected as a governor, and that's Wes Moore in the state of Maryland. So we have a lot to be happy about, to celebrate. He is a dynamic brother. He ran a national kind of civil rights organization, has a just riveting and fascinating backstory, and now he is the governor, the third black man to be a governor in the state. Does not look like Stacey Abrams, black woman who we were hoping would make history and be the first black female governor in Georgia. She is not doing very well, and so far they're predicting that she will lose for the second time that race to be governor of Georgia. So not too happy about that, but incredibly happy for Wes Moore in Maryland.
Let me ask you this. How do you think Biden, President Biden, will govern with a divided government?
It's going to be challenging, and that's why, this American, our two-party system works in some ways, but it's also very dysfunctional in other ways. It's going to be very difficult to get anything out of the House if the Republicans control it, and then Republicans have vowed to engage in all of these, what I'm going to call frivolous investigations, including investigating Hunter Biden, everyone that is associated with Joe Biden, maybe try to impeach Joe Biden himself. So I think we're going to see a lot of gridlock. We're going to see very little legislation coming out of the House because Republicans don't have a history of governing. They have a history of opposing. They are the party of obstruction. They are not the party of governance. So I think it's going to be difficult, and which is why really when you are elected president and you have the House, you have the control of that House, you've got to get as much done. You got to run as fast as you can, get as much legislation passed as you can in those first 2 years, because when that House flips, which historically it always has, there's not much you're going to get accomplished.
So how do these wins and losses affect black folk directly?
Oh, tremendous impact, which is why I just had I texted my niece a book on text, which you're not supposed to do, but I broke the rules and sent her way too long of a text, as she told me she did not vote today. Black folk, I know it's not perfect, and there's a lot of frustration about the party, the Democratic Party, and promises that were made that were not kept. But it's not about perfection, it's about progress, and we are the only party, we being Democrats, are the only party that's trying to move the country forward in terms of how that impacts black folks, trying to move the country forward on things like attacking voter suppression laws across this country. Things like abortion rights. For black women, abortion care is health care. We have the worst maternal mortality rates in the country. It's more dangerous as a black woman to have a baby in the United States than it is to have it in a third world country. So abortion rights are very critical to all women, but particularly black women. Those are issues that are really important. Things like a living wage, having someone in office that's going to fight for raising the minimum wage to $15 or even $20, which, it needs to be even higher than $15, but getting people to a living wage. So there are so many things on the ballot that are important to African Americans. Things like, housing in Los Angeles City and the county. 40% of the folks that we see unhoused on our streets are African Americans. They're black people. So these are issues that I hope, drove black folks in L.A. and around this nation to the polls, because if we think things are bad now, I just can't even imagine if we lose the House, we lose the Senate, we lose some important local races here right in Los Angeles and California, things can get a whole lot worse.
So you speak of the problems of the political process, the problems of the political system. Don't you think it's an unrealistic expectation to ask a group of people who have unfulfilled promises? They have promissory notes. They got debt, promises. The promises haven't been met. So don't you think it's an unrealistic expectation to ask those people to buy back in, to buy the dip, so to speak?
Absolutely not, Joe. And you know why? Because as adults, that is what life is all about. Think about how many things we do as adults that don't give us 100% satisfaction or not completely fulfilling, starting with something called a job. Most people go to their jobs. They don't love what they do. They don't love going to work every day, working a 9 to 5, but they got to pay their bills. So as adults, we have choices to make. We have things that we have to do that don't always bring us joy. So voting, and again, voting for Democrats, I can't tell you they're going to satisfy every wish that you have, because that feels lie. That's not true. You're going to get maybe 50 or 60% of what you desire, but that 50 to 60% is better than getting 0%. So if you look at life as a zero-sum game, yeah, you'd say, why vote? But if you think about, again, the concept of making progress, not perfection, you say, I'm going to be the first person in line to vote because I want to keep making progress. And we know that justice is incremental. You know, the fight that has been waged by our ancestors is a continuing fight, and it's up to us to continue it. How dare us stop? How dare us give up when people died, stood in lines, got water hose sprayed on them, got dogs sicked on them, and then we say we didn't get everything we want, so we're going to sit it out? You know our grandmamas and mamas will be smacking us upside our heads, so they wouldn't stand for that nonsense.
Arriva, take it easy. Take it easy. You still got to come back at 8:35. Save a little bit for us. Listen, we appreciate the update and the insight, but let me come back. I got to say it. You know the Voice of Reason is a non-judgmental platform. We let everybody talk. But you can't tell me the system is broken and then say I'm crazy for not wanting to participate. Now, you get some people out here who want to cancel culture everybody for saying, oh, well, I don't agree, and fix the system before I participate. But isn't that fair? Isn't that a fair request? Get it right before you demand I get in line. And if the people are wrong, if the system is wrong, if we're still at the bottom of every socio-economic category that matters, how does the vote have power to me? When we come forward, Zoe Williams is going to keep this fire lit. The phone lines are cracking. We're going to talk about it tonight.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
It's the holiday season. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. Some things to look forward to this holiday season. Whitney fans, Whitney Houston's estate to release fragrance in her honor, reportedly marking one of the first official endorsement deals for the late singer. Available through the Home Shopping Network, Set Beauty, and even Walmart by mid-November. And fans are also thrilled to see the Best Man franchise back on screen. This time as a limited series debuting in December on Peacock. I just love the holidays. What are you most excited about this season? Tweet us to let us know at KBLA 1580, #KBlackMinuteHoliday.
I am Raina Creel. I will bring fresh ideas, representation, transparency, and accountability. As the new mayor of Inglewood, I believe we the people experience, determination, and courage to promote our vision for our community. I, Raina Carrillo, will focus on a better community, advocate for Inglewood School District, public safety, and the houseless. I would like to improve on public services and inclusive economic recovery and support small businesses. Driven by faith, a dedicated wife and mother, and the love of my community. As a mayor candidate, I'm a candidate for the people. Vote for me, Raina Carrillo, for Mayor of Inglewood. Invest in the future of Inglewood. Raina Carrillo for Mayor, paid by Raina Carrillo for Inglewood Mayor 2022.
Our Weekly Los Angeles is the largest audited black newspaper in the state of California, with a distribution of over 50,000 copies weekly. Pick up a copy every Thursday to get the latest news on African American communities of LA. You can also keep up with what's going on in Los Angeles and surrounding cities by going to www.ourweekly.com. The Our Weekly website is updated daily with the current news about us and for us. For your advertising needs, Our Weekly offers economical advertising packages to fit your budget. Feel at 323-905-1300 or visit the website at www.ourweekly.com. Our Weekly Los Angeles, reporting news that matters to you.
Did you know fixing outdoor leaks can save 27 to 90 gallons of water per day? Even tiny leaks can be huge water wasters. Conserving water starts with a few simple water-saving actions at home and in your yard, like adjusting your sprinklers and adding drip irrigation so you water only where it's needed. We can all do our part to conserve water. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more water-saving tips. Save water, save California.
Roll out. The all-new Gardena Nissan is proud to be a partner of KBLA, and right now during their fall sales event, 0 down delivers any new or pre-owned car at Gardena Nissan. They're located conveniently on Redondo Beach Boulevard at Western, and they specialize in helping folks out who have no credit, bad credit, bankruptcies, or repos. The folks at Gardena Nissan will take fantastic care of you and help you get into the car you need and deserve at a spectacular price. Visit them today or shop. The all-new Gardena Nissan is proud to be a partner of KBLA, and right now during their fall sales event, 0 down delivers any new or pre-owned car at Gardena Nissan. For the best deals, log on to GardenaNissan.com. 0 down on approved credit. GardenaNissan.com. Roll out.
So you tested positive for COVID. What's next? Treat yourself. There are free COVID treatments available. Taken by pill, these medications can stop the illness from getting serious. So treat yourself. Call the healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to find free treatment today. Again, that's 833-422-4255. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The voice of God, down to our knees, voice of the God, we don't believe.
We turned up tonight. We're having a very in-depth discussion. Listen, whether it's politics or anything, right? How to raise the kids, how to build the family, how to construct the hierarchy within the family, or is it an egalitarian relationship? What are the rules? What you're going to find is two people with two different perspectives. And where there are two different perspectives, there will be conflict or the potentiality for conflict to develop. So, whether it's a religious belief, whether there are cultural differences, in order to have a strong relationship, you've got to learn how to overcome those differences. So, number one, you got to treat your partner with respect, love, and consideration. I've always said respect should be the religion of relationship. You got to learn how to accept your partner's flaws and embrace their strengths. Most people are trying to fix their partner's flaws, and it's easy to accept somebody's strengths, right? You got to respect your partner's beliefs and value their opinions, even if they differ from yours. Now, that is an exceedingly difficult thing to do for many people. Let me get my homegirl Nzinga from Pensacola, Florida in the building. Talk to me.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
How you doing, Nzinga?
Oh, I'm good. How you feeling, Mr. Young?
I'm good. I'm in here cooking.
Okay. I feel like if two people are together and, one's a Republican or a liberal, progressive, and or, a Democrat, whatever, if they want to make that work, then they'll make it work. I mean, boundaries to make anything work, you just don't talk about that. You can talk about everything. Because if you have kids, if you're raising them to be respectful, then that's a mutual understanding that y'all have. If you are raising them to have religion or to be God-centered, then that's something that you mutually agree upon. So there are other things that you can agree upon, and again, if you want to make it work, then it will work. But if you don't, then it won't. And as far as politicians, no, they can't be trusted. Prime example is, what's the young lady, the Hispanic young lady's name? Whatever her name is, OCOG. She was I think she went in very innocently.
So Nzinga, hold on one second. We got to come
Mm-hmm.
forward, but I want to come right back to you. Your phone is a little muffled, so if you can work with that, then we're going to get back into this. When we come forward, we're going back to Pensacola, Florida, and talk to Nzinga. She's got a lot to talk about.